You're listening to the first episode of Don't Miss This Podcast with Sam Butler and
Jack Anderson, a.k.a. Jacky D.
Yes, welcome to DMT with Sammy B and Jacky D.
What's up?
The show where it's just two best friends trying to get caught up with each other. Jack and I have been best friends.
Breast friends.
Breast friends.
We both have breasts, and we're men, and it's a strange thing.
Don't lie to these people. We need to establish trust.
How dare we?
We've been best friends who like breasts.
That's true.
We're big titty boys.
That was one of the founding pillars of our friendship.
And, 20 years into this friendship, we are realizing that adulting gets in the way of this shit. And we miss a lot. We miss a lot with each other. We miss a lot with entertainment and news. We're not very savvy with the news and the what's going on in the world because it's pretty wild out there.
Yeah.
And Jack, you're a big fan of sports.
Love sports, man. Love my sports.
I'm real into the movies and stuff and
right.
TV. I mean, we both are, but I get behind the scenes. I get my news from Deadline Hollywood, pal.
I stick with IMDb. I'm kind of basic.
Yeah, IMDb daily, probably at least 24 times a day.
Been using it for 10 years, and it's going strong-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, ish.
Get on IMDb.
Yeah.
Because I have so much fucking trivia in my head that I could just spill tea on, man. Just spill all this goddamn tea of trivia.
Spill your tea.
Spill the trivia tea, so to speak. But, what I get in my news cycle, Jack doesn't. And what Jack gets in his news cycle, I don't. So we're getting each other caught up so we don't miss this stuff.
That's right. We're here. We're accountability buddies. We're making sure.
And so that we don't miss each other.
Exactly.
That's really it. It's just this show is a really powerful demonstration of two best friends. Brothers, really. From other mothers.
From other mothers. But,
just having a silly goose time.
Having fun, man. Just
fucking around. And, we're both comedians.
Yeah. We dabble with the gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me with stand-up, you with improv, of course.
Improvisational comedy, indeed. Yes.
And so we'd like to bring a little bit of our experience with the Denver comedy scene in and share that with you. Eventually get guests on, other comedians and live performers from around Denver, and basically, that's the rundown of what you're going to get with Don't Miss This. Well, also, definitely, just fair warning, be getting into spoilery type stuff when we start talking about movies.
Yes, spoilers.
Yes,
it's gonna be big. We're not here to break the news. We're here to dissect it. We're here to take it like a frog and get inside and see what is the meat of it all. What is up with so-and-so in the new Avengers movie? What happened with that ending of Game of Thrones? We're going to talk about those things.
Yes.
We're going to give our opinions.
So buckle up. It will be at the end of the episode in case you babies who haven't watched any of it.
It's true.
Can just go ahead and tap out early. We got plenty of show. You're not going to be missing.
Sam.
Don't miss this.
I think it's safe to say at this point, anybody who hasn't seen Endgame in particular, Avengers Endgame, and gets upset when people talk about spoilers, they deserve to be thrown in a well for 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Alone.
With the well sealed. They don't get the sunlight through the top. They're stuck in that cylinder.
If I hear one more person whine about it at this point, and if you haven't seen it,
it's your fault at this point. This isn't LaShawn McCoy spoiling it less than 24 hours after the goddamn movie came out. LaShawn spoiling McCoy. That man should be buried under the prison. Forget a well, buried alive with concrete under a prison, because that is capital punishment, man.
Let's see, Sam. Let me ask you a question here with that idea in mind. Who deserves a greater punishment? Tyreek Hill for breaking his son's arm, factually breaking his arm, or LaShawn McCoy for spoiling Endgame?
LaShawn McCoy, 100%.
Agreed.
Yeah, because, here's the thing, is Tyreek Hill's kid has only been alive for 3 years. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been around for 11 years. We've put 11 years of our lives into these movies, sold our entire souls, bought in. These movies are a part of our lives. They represent our freaking friendship family that we've come so far with. They represent so much for us. And, because we're big fans, we got in there night of. That Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Bam. First show we could ever see. So we weren't victims of this LaShawn spoiler. But LaShawn did it that Friday. And to his poor 750,000 plus followers, he just fucking ruined it. And furthermore, didn't take down the spoilers when people flipped out on him.
Now, here's another question for you, Sam. What is going to be his punishment? Getting cut from the Bills or having to stay with the Bills for the rest of his career?
Definitely stay with the Bills. As long as he stays in Buffalo, get buried by snow and just miserable with the most insane fans, the Bills Mafia crashing through tables and stuff, just getting blitzed, and the shitty buffalo wing sauce. He's I'd say it's punishment enough if the rest of his career ends up there. But I've never seen a bigger outpouring of people who wanted somebody to have catastrophic injuries and end his career. People were sending death threats, wanting him to tear both ACLs, completely blow out all the CLs in all of his knees, all 3 of his knees, including his cock.
Of course.
Yeah, because that's a leg by itself.
You know
it. You know it.
I understand.
I mean, he's a little guy, but he's packing.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's how he's so fast. He's got that third leg. Yeah.
Probably my favorite thing about him posting that video, though, was his kid. His kid was the best part of that video because he knew his dad shouldn't be doing this shit. He knew it. He's just like, so-and-so died. Well, fuck it. We're going to say it. Iron Man died. He was upset that Iron Man died. He's like, no! Why would they kill my man Tony Stark? He was the best and shit. And his kid's like, yeah, but it wasn't him, though. And then he goes, it was him! It was him! And his kid's like, I'm just going to shut up.
I'm just going to let him ruin his life.
He was trying to be a hero and save this moment. And LaShawn wouldn't let him because he's a fucking trash asshole. But he wouldn't take them down, which means he definitely did it for the attention. 100%. And, for a 31-year-old running back in Buffalo, you don't get more irrelevant than that. So, a cry for attention is, to be expected.
So, basically, in summation, Tyreek Hill, he spilled the beer at the party, big time. Big no-go, get him out of there.
Yeah, no, he's cut off.
He's cut off.
No more drinking.
LeSean McCoy dropped a 70-year-old aged whiskey as soon as he picked it up.
Ooh.
Just shattered the bottle everywhere.
Oh, 100%.
Nice. Okay.
100%. Yeah, that is a great way to say it. He took a bottle of Lagavulin and just dropped it. He took a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label Scotch valued at $250 and dropped it. Tyreek just kind of knocked over the keg, shook it up a little bit.
Kick him out of the party for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Get him out of there. But
yeah. And who knows what Tyreek Hill's kid was doing. Maybe he was talking a lot of shit. Maybe he was saying LeSean McCoy was his favorite player.
Oh.
See?
Oh. What a full twist.
Them's fighting words. And, I don't know if the kid was talking shit or if just Tyreek Hill likes hurting and harming children, which, I could see.
Yeah, it seems to be a common trend of hurting people in the Kansas City Chiefs organization. Now, Sammy, speaking of drama, okay, we're in the middle of the NBA playoffs. And
are we?
On this show, we're going to talk a little bit about sports. And I'm here.
The sporty balls.
I'm keeping up with these stats, with these games and these scores and these numbers. And my man Sammy B here, he's up to date. But, I'm going to give Sam some of the matchups, and I'm going to see what his critical eye thinks.
All right, so give me the teams that are left.
Right, of course. So I'm going to throw you a couple the most interesting matchups to me currently in the NBA
well,
right now.
how many teams are left, though?
We have 8. We have 8 left.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, about four series going on.
So quarterfinals.
That's right. That's right. So we've got Let's start with our hometown team. We've got the Denver Nuggets.
Oh, the Dank Nugs.
The Dank Nugs with Nikola the Joker Jokic.
The only Denver team that I support wholeheartedly.
Yeah, they are. They're young, they're amazing, they're fun, and they're playing the red-hot Damian Lillard-led Portland Trail Blazers. Sam, who wins in a battle between a Golden Nugget and a Trailblazer?
That's an excellent question, Jack. I would have to say a Golden Nugget.
The Golden Nugget.
Now let me lead you down this rabbit hole of where my brain is going.
This trail that you'll be blazing.
I will be blazing a trail right here. So think about it. The Trailblazers were named after the, journey on the Oregon Trail.
Yes.
To get to their manifest destiny. But
So
you know
many
what?
people died.
So many people died.
So many.
And, they had to all cross so many rivers.
They did.
Get through mountains and stuff. And unbeknownst to them, there's gold nuggets littering all of that.
True.
There's gold nuggets in the rivers. There's gold nuggets on the mountains. And, this could be hazardous because it could catch somebody's eye. And they're just like, oh, my God, life, retirement money right there.
Right.
I could retire off of that giant nugget in that river right there. Hops off the wagon, drowns.
Oh, the nugget is a seduction method.
They see it up like on a cliff. They're like, oh, yeah, I can go get it. They go up there. They fucking slip off the side of the mountain. Eaten by a bear.
Oh, not even killed by the fall.
Yep.
Eaten by the bear.
Oh, just like absolutely ravaged by the fall. If the bear hadn't gotten to them, they would have died from the fall.
Right.
But the bear was like right there. It was like, oh shit, nice.
Nice. So the golden nugget that was Nikola Jokic throws the oop to the Grizzly. That is, nope. There's a team called the Grizzlies. Let's move on. Let's go to the East in one of the most fascinating matchups to me here, Sammy, in the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Toronto Raptors. Here's my question to you about this series. Do you think Ben Franklin, one of the original 76ers, could ride a Velociraptor if he had the know-how?
I mean, the only way that I can say, and I mean, like, it's a 14,605 chances to 1 odds against him of succeeding, but in that one, if he managed to wrangle that string from his kite around the Velociraptor's neck and have the wind blowing perfectly and the key tied to it during a thunderstorm and lightning struck that key and zapped that Velociraptor, it would 100% obey him.
Damn, that would be a sight to see.
I could see Benny Franklin doing that. I mean, he is an athletic fat man.
He is indeed.
He wanted the turkey to be the mascot for America. I mean, how much more next level could you get?
How dope would it be if there was just a portrait in the White House of Ben Franklin with just rocking a turkey on his forearm like a falcon, but a turkey, and that thing looks majestic, and he is saddled up on a Velociraptor, holding a kite with electricity flowing through it.
Yeah, and then also with a big-titted whore, because he loved the whores.
That's a good point.
Jack, Danny DeVito should play him in a biopic.
We're going to make that movie.
Because he loves whores.
And
I'm Ben Franklin, and I love whores in Turkey. Turkey.
Oh my God! I got to work on my Danny DeVito, but let's move from the dribbling of basketball to the skating of hockey in the NHL. Let me throw you a couple matchups.
Jacky.
So we have the Dallas Stars taking on the St. Louis Blues. Sam, why are these two teams named the way they are?
I really don't know. I've been so out of the entire stratosphere of hockey like my entire life, and I mean, I played hockey. I mean, I know very little. I know about the Avs. They're probably the one that I have the most knowledge about with Patrick Waugh and Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg. But anybody else, it's just I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
The Bruins, I guess, because I follow Boston.
Hey, yeah, the Bruins just won their series.
Yeah, I saw that. But the Blues and the Stars, who are the Blues for?
The Blues are for St. Louis.
St. Louis? Oh, that actually makes sense because the Blues.
Sure.
Yeah.
There we go. That's correct.
The blues music. I heard somewhere they've always been called the Bluesers because they've never made it. They've never gone to the cup or won the cup or something. So
the Bluesers.
Yeah, since it's Bluesers against Stars, I'm thinking Superstars. I'm gonna go with the Stars.
I like it.
Actually, no. Change my mind. Going with the underdog. The Bluesers for the win.
Blues for the win. Hey, and then we will find out, honestly, in about an hour as this game gets started.
Game 7?
It is indeed. And quick, go back into the home team. Colorado Avalanche against San Jose Sharks. Sammy B, how do you think a Shark would fare in the melted aftermath of a large avalanche. Shark living in the mountains. How's it doing?
So are you saying like there's a shark living in a lake?
Here's the scenario I'm pitching to you.
Throw me the whole scenario. What are the chain of events that happens where this shark gets caught in an avalanche?
Right.
Or as you just said, the melted aftermath. So
I've got
that's
you.
not even an avalanche.
That's my bad for not specifying. Big old zoo truck, aquarium truck,
Yeah.
going through the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah.
Shipping some great whites from the West Coast.
Oh, as you do.
Yeah, normal stuff.
Yeah.
Where great whites maybe live.
Yeah.
And
they're
kind of
they're everywhere.
Yeah, and I see they're everywhere.
They're
in the
sharks.
mountains.
They have no boundaries.
And this truck it's cruising through the Rocky Mountains. Big old avalanche comes, crushes the truck, smashes it. Shark goes rolling out, gets frozen for about 3-4 months. Okay, but there was so much snow in this perfect little pocket that when the snow melts, it becomes a lake, and the shark comes back to life. It was preserved like Captain America in that ice. Now it's swimming in a lake it's never been in before, and it's really the only life form in there. But the thing is, they built a new road, and all these cars have to pass by. So this is a very, very much so a human-eating shark. Sam, how is this shark doing right now?
Well, now you put it that way. That's a very interesting way to put it. Because I mean, like this is like a Sharknado type scenario, a shark avalanche, if I may.
Ah, nice. We'll write that one too.
Yeah. So I mean, in this case, it's not so much an avalanche versus the shark. It's what the avalanche does for the shark. In that scenario, it kind of reminds me of that Hot Wheels set with the giant shark mouth that you had to drive the Hot Wheel car through and not have it snap down. So I just see it having a buffet, man. I mean, if anything, that would mean that the avalanche is helping the shark. And unless actually, this just came to my mind. If it melts and that lake forms, where's the salt water?
That's a good point.
They need salt water.
It produces its own. Because it
just shits out just massive bucket of salt. It
yes.
just ate a whole bunch before it went down.
Literally, that's what they feed them at the aquarium.
Or are you just positing that it's in a saltwater reservoir? Because there are those.
I didn't deposit anything.
I said positive. You know.
Now let's get to headlines.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. So we have. I'm distracted reading these. I'm trying to pick which one I'm going to read to you.
All right. Well, I mean, take your time.
Of course.
I mean, we got time.
We got time, man. I think I got a couple here, and I think these are going to be good ones. So basically what we're going to do, we're getting caught up on the news, but quite frankly, the news makes us, what, Sam? The current news.
Diarrhea pukic?
I was going to say sad and bored, but...
well, I mean emotionally.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Gives me emotional diarrhea and emotional vomit.
That's right. And it's kind of a bummer. So what we do is we go onto the weird news page, and I read Sam a headline about... some of the craziest news in the world right now.
Hit me, pal.
And this first one coming at you, Sam, might sound kind of familiar to you because we've talked about this before. Ninja gorilla slips through electric fence, becomes a legend among the apes.
Oh, yes. I remember the ninja gorilla.
Yes, the ninja gorilla.
Well,
let's talk about him.
I like the ninja gorilla because that proves that we're getting beyond racial stereotypes that only Asian humans can be ninjas.
That's right.
He's breaking the barrier, man. I mean, this is a progressive ape, shattering glass ceilings for apes everywhere.
Just had a goal, made a choice,
put its mind to it,
and made it happen.
Focus, diligence, and it escaped through an electric fence.
That is true.
I mean, even the Velociraptor would probably be like, clever gal. Even if it was a boy.
Even if it was a boy.
It was a clever gal. Clever gorilla. That's so fucking stupid. But it also begs the question, which, comes to my heart, is this ninja gorilla. Do you think this ninja gorilla will displace another favorite gorilla of ours, Magilla gorilla.
Oof. Now you're asking me the tough questions here,
Yeah.
man.
I need you to give us the hot take on Magilla gorilla versus ninja gorilla.
Versus ninja gorilla. You know what, man? Yeah, deadliest war status right there. I'm gonna say the ninja gorilla. I'm gonna go with the ninja gorilla because you know what, Sammy B? He's a ninja, quite frankly, and I think at best Magilla gorilla's fighting style would be bare knuckle boxing.
Oh, 100%.
And this little ninja gorilla seems to clearly know how to use a ninjato, and swords beat fists every time.
Okay, I can see that, but I mean, it knows ninjato.
Mm-hmm.
It has a it knows ninjutsu. It uses a ninjato.
Right.
Ninjato's a sword.
Yes.
The ninjato. But here's my thing is, I mean, 100% Ninja Gorilla wins. Could kill him without him even knowing. Magilla Gorilla is outmatched. I mean, all he has is freaking pants and suspenders. Walks like a human.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm remembering correctly, a bowler hat and a cigar, or is that a different gorilla?
I believe you're correct. Let's take a look here.
But here's the thing: is that would be such a pussy way to become the victor. That would be a dishonorable way to take out Magilla Gorilla. Because I mean, yeah, there he is with his fucking bow tie and his he just right there. He's holding a freaking bayonet barehanded, Jack. He could grab that ninjato, dude.
This is a powerful.
The stakes have gone up.
This is a powerful ape right here.
But he talks like a person, man. I mean, Magilla Gorilla doesn't fuck around, but also he's the most honorable of the fighters. He will take Ninja Gorilla head on, bare knuckle box him in a fair match, unless the Ninja Gorilla decides to be a little puss cake, throw some, pepper in his eyes, one of those pepper eggs or salt eggs. You know, like the ninja would be for. Japan being all about honor would be the most dishonorable way.
That's a good point. It's a good. You give
win.
me a good argument.
He'd win,
but
he wouldn't be honorable for it.
Yeah,
Magilla
would he
Gorilla.
really win? You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the question that he would have to contemplate every night. He's like, oh my god.
And you know what?
And then he'll end his life with hard carry.
Damn. I guess yeah. You've convinced me. Now speaking of Magilla Gorilla, Sam.
If Magilla Gorilla lives, they both live.
They both live.
Magilla Gorilla dies, they both die.
Oh, damn. Oh, my goodness. What do you think of gorilla trafficking? Gorilla pet trafficking? It's a real problem?
Is it a real problem?
No, but it is in the Magilla Gorilla world.
Yeah, because he's a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale. Magilla Gorilla for sale. I mean, I feel like since gorillas don't have rights, and he's the only one who can complain, then, he should just shut the fuck up and be like the other gorillas and take it.
Now, do you think... take it. Do you think that this little gorilla, this ninja gorilla, has the ability to wield the electricity? How did it get through the electric fence?
Oh, are you saying that he had some sort of like Thor or Shazam kind of electric bending power?
I certainly hope so.
Well, then that's next level.
Yeah.
Because then he's not a ninja gorilla. He's God gorilla.
That's true.
Gorilla God, not Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla
Okay.
God. Capital G, Jack.
I pray to the gorilla god, for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the Wakabi tribe did. M'Baku knew what was up.
M'Baku. All right.
Glory to Hanuman.
Next headline, Sam. What do you think about this? A lot of crime news on this page. Naked Florida man wanted for burglarizing Little League concession stand.
Well, I mean, I love Florida, man. That place sounds like a party. All these Florida man stories can't go wrong.
No, not
can't
at all.
go wrong with any one of them. But you're saying that he was naked,
Yes.
burglarized a concession stand
Little League concession stand, indeed.
at a
Yes.
Little League game.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's wearing a baseball cap, at least.
well,
But he is fully nude.
what time of day was this? Was this during a game?
I believe so.
Okay, well then clearly this man was a pedophile who had just got done taking care of his own business and he needed to replenish.
It looks
But
like
since he was naked, he didn't have his wallet, so, obviously go steal it.
He was wearing gloves as well, if you were curious.
That's very interesting.
Gloves and a
because
hat.
usually, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I don't wear gloves when I jack it. But apparently he did.
Oh, man. He's not even caught. I totally just like...
He's at large?
Yeah, he's still wanted.
Whoa.
Yeah, he hasn't been arrested yet.
Wow, how many other naked dudes in bald caps and gloves are walking around with concession stand stuff?
He caused $5,000 worth of damage. And,
Naked?
yeah.
This man's a freak.
He stole cameras, a cash box with $250 inside,
That's it?
and hot dogs.
Where did he hide the hot dogs? I mean, we've established he's a freak if he's naked at a Little League game. Man, I mean, I'm speechless. That guy's he's a Florida national treasure at this point.
He is indeed. And you know who else is?
Who?
The subject of our next headline, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. We can
Let's get away from the pedophilic route that I went with that guy. Let's keep going. Let's plow ahead. Let's put that in the past. Let's put it behind us, okay?
It's a fun first episode.
I mean, I've talked like 4 times about hurting kids so far. I shouldn't.
That's how I know we're off to a good... People are going to love us.
Really establish where my head's going on this one.
Yeah, there's literally zero boundaries in this show. Now for my favorite Florida celebrity currently. Here's the headline. Easter Bunny hops into fight on streets of Orlando, Florida.
Oh, I think I saw the video for this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that Easter Bunny fucked up some people.
Yeah, this Easter Bunny is throwing some blows.
Yeah, no, he did not turn the other cheek.
No.
He, Peter Cottontail was hopping down the, rabbit trail and decided to fuck some bitches up on the way. He was hipping and hopping in and stomping some mud holes and some crud holes.
He had some questions. Some questions for these people with the way he's beating them. Yes. Yeah.
Now, do you think Jesus would have approved?
I think Jesus just doesn't like the Easter Bunny in general because he came back to life one day and everybody was like, let's use a bunny to celebrate. And eggs, yes. But the
eggs represent rebirth, right, though? Isn't that the whole thing?
I'm sure Jesus didn't want to be represented by an egg.
I don't think Jesus wanted to be represented anyway like he is now at all, especially white and tall. Because he was not either of those things.
Nah.
But also, I feel like with the condition of this world, I feel like he might actually approve of this Easter Bunny. Because wasn't he intervening, or was he being attacked, or was he an attacker?
It looks as though he was intervening.
Well, then this bunny's a hero.
A man and a woman were fighting in Orlando when the bunny suddenly came up and started throwing rabbit punches.
Oh, fucking saint, man!
Yeah, this is a good bunny.
Yeah, he turned the other cheek and then slapped that bitch in the face and told her to, chill out, and then kicked him in the nuts and said, "That's for God."
And nobody even got arrested.
That's because it's the Easter Bunny.
It's an Easter miracle, man.
It's an Easter miracle. Jesus had his bag. He was just like, yeah, fuck him up. Fuck him up. He's just up in heaven rooting. Yeah, that's my boy.
Let's go.
Easter Bunny.
Oh, my goodness. And, however, the video does show the bunny shadowboxing and chest-bumping fellow Easter revelers after the Battle Royale, so he celebrated.
Dude.
This one big time.
That's a good one. I fucks with this bunny.
Yeah, I like this bunny, too. He seems to be a new vigilante, and I hope he gets a movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got for headlines, Sammy B. What do you want to talk about now?
Let me see if I got any headlines for you. I think I came with one.
Tell me about your headlines. How was everyone's week?
Oh, I mean...
I wasn't asking you. I was asking the audience.
Oh, well, then you can go fuck yourself. Oh, my God. This one we can talk about.
Let's hear it.
Because this one will lead perfectly into the next segment. Jack, what did you think about Fat Thor?
What did I think about Thor Lebowski? I loved him. I did not know that was coming. I had no idea they were going to go that direction.
Idea.
And I am so. It was the only thing I ever needed.
It was the best shock moment.
And I'm going to tell you a couple things here, Sammy B. I'm going to tell you a couple things. First off, Fat Thor. Here's a couple things about Fat Thor. One, acts, behaves, and looks just like the Big Lebowski. Big Lebowski, the dude from the Big Lebowski.
Yes.
Which is just I think is my favorite film of all time.
Yeah, I know. You try to live your life like the dude every day, man.
I do.
I mean, mad respect.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I cut my hair. What a shame. What a foolish move.
I know, but also, you got Ragnarok Thor hair going, and that's cool.
That's fun, and that leads into my. I love what they've been doing with Thor. I've been eating Thor up for the past 2 years. Just every single moment he's on screen, I love it. I'll listen to the song where he like bursts into Wakanda when I work out. I love it, man. It's fun. And thirdly, Thor and mythology. You know me, Sammy B. I love my myths.
Yeah.
I like to stay authentic to the mythology. I've never had an issue with how they had Thor in the movies and the comics because that is Thor in the movies and the comics. In the mythology, he is fat. He has a huge beard. He's a total dick.
Really?
Oh, he's the worst. Like Thor's like,
I know he's a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Odin are real cunts in the mythology.
They're bad dudes, man.
They're real bad dudes.
They're bad.
Like the Odin that Hela was saying was like, their OG Odin where he just slaughtered the shit out of people. Yeah, that's real Odin.
And like, here's the thing. So I love it. Like, it's mythologically correct. It's still Chris Hemsworth playing Thor, which I love. And if he isn't a Viking warrior, he's the dude. Like,
right.
That's who I want to be.
And that's perfect.
Yeah, he dual wields Mjolnir and Stormbreaker.
I'm buying Ray-Bans, like official Ray-Bans.
100%. And and it's just like, here's the thing on a more like story-based level too, with everybody that's got a gripe with this. Ladies, just it doesn't matter if he's not ripped for this one. You've got 6 other movies where he looks awesome, and he looks fine at the beginning of this one. Don't worry about it. 2, from a story standpoint, all the people are like, "Oh, stupid, we love Thor." Yeah, you love Thor, but do you want to see him flatline? Do you know what nobody expected to see in Ragnarok was this version of Thor? You know what nobody expected to see in Endgame was this version of Thor.
Right. Well,
characters must change. They must grow, or they become boring.
And all the people who were upset about it, who were attracted to how hot Chris Hemsworth was. Imagine how much fucking work he has to put in for all these movies. He's done 7 movies as this character, 6 of which he was ripped out of his fucking mind.
Well, 7. I mean, he was great. I mean, I'm sure he's
he
wearing
was still
a fat suit.
he was still wearing a fat suit, but I'm sure he didn't have to get nearly as chiseled,
right?
And keep his physique.
He didn't go full Christian Bale, but he definitely relaxed a little bit. Yeah.
But I mean, like, also from a story standpoint, if you think about it, he lost his father. He lost his brother. He lost his mother. He had to kill his sister. His home was destroyed. Half of his people were killed.
His best friend
was killed. Stabbed in the heart. And he got blown up, and he failed to kill Thanos before the snap and before the stones were destroyed. So you tell me, if you go through all that and you don't fall down a pit of despair and beer and just shit junk food and get that fat, then you're actually a psycho.
Yes.
That you are a true psycho.
And you got to think, like, everybody's freaking out about this because, he goes through this big change, and it's more abrupt than, like, these other characters have gone through the same thing. Tony has PTSD. Tony is no longer the billionaire playboy philanthropist. He still has hints of that in him, but the dude's constantly freaking out after the Avengers.
Well, that was the whole thing with Pepper's line, 2 lines in the movie, where she's like, well, hang on, before I go into that, the reason I brought up Fat Thor was because of the headline I was going to tell you. And it goes...
worked up.
Yeah, well, it says... Fat Thor is not problematic. Fat Thor jokes are problematic. So the lines of Rabbit or Rocket saying, "You look like melted ice cream," or when Thor's like, "What's coursing through my veins right now?" and Rhodey's like, "Cheese whiz." These people take it as fat shaming and took to the internet and decided to write this whole thing about how brave Thor was for embracing his body and body change and stuff, and for how he reacted to the jokes and all that stuff, but also how the jokes were harmful. And I'm like, hey, 100%, if people like obese people went into that theater and then got surprised with Fat Thor, 100% of them would feel better about themselves. I did. You know, I've been chubbing up for like a motherfucker for the past 5-6 months. And, you know, I was just like, oh, man, I got to lose some weight. Fat Thor comes on the screen. I'm like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm going to start drinking more beer, actually.
I've drank significantly more beer since I've seen that movie.
So much more beer. Oh, man. You know, and like that... I just don't understand why people have to have this outrage and tie everything together. It's so selfish and self-righteous to do that. Hey, let people enjoy things, please.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know. It never feels hateful. Like the thing, these people freak out about a lot of things, and it's just like I don't think anybody's. Here's I guess what I'm trying to say. Those jokes aren't hateful. Those jokes aren't intended to make fat people feel bad about themselves. And every other movie has so many fat jokes.
Right.
There's so many fat jokes in so many movies that these people probably love, but just because the Avengers is hot and trendy and that was a big twist.
Well, there was that whole thing with Joe Russo playing that first openly gay character, and people were just like, it's not doing enough for LGBTQ representation. I'm like, are you fucking high right now? Are you telling me that you needed them to introduce a brand new hero with no setup, no background or anything, and just make them gay?
Yeah.
Just to pander? Just to pander.
Here's what... Here's the thing, and with that in particular, it's so annoying because it's like they just made it a thing. That's the thing that I think, especially like homosexuality in this situation, they're just trying to normalize it.
Right.
Yeah, and by normalizing it, you allow it to be celebrated. And this is where I think they may have fallen in a bit more of a trap with Captain Marvel than they may have anticipated. And it was a lot of girl power. And like Wonder Woman was too, but like and Black Panther was very much like Black power and stuff like that. But here's the trouble I have with Captain Marvel compared to those other two. Like Black Panther is a story about Africa.
Right.
And it's not about the fact that T'Challa is a black superhero.
Right.
It's the fact he's an African king. And therefore, everybody must be black. And they did. They did it. They did it great.
And
Killmonger is a great, like, way to spread that message.
He's Western.
Yes. T'Challa goes on a journey. T'Challa changes. T'Challa enacts, like, goes full circle. Killmonger's the message and, you know, the issue that he must solve and go against. Same with Wonder Woman. I mean, she goes through a change. Diana goes through a change. She goes through a journey.
Yes.
The fact that she's a woman in World War I, yeah, of course that's going to stand out.
It's wild.
And the thing about Captain Marvel and the way Brie Larson's been advertising it so much is just like, it's like women can do it too, which is true. But because you're making the point that this is only to prove that women can do it, by you saying that women can lead this franchise as well, you're making it a bigger thing and you're not just like telling a good story.
Well, yeah, and that was the thing.
Normalize it. Just we want to. Everybody gets so worked up and freaked out. And I'm getting worked up and freaked out because all I want to do is make everything normal. Right. I just want to make being a human being normal.
Yeah, just in all the ways.
Let you do your thing.
And these people who get upset about it, 100% least fun people to hang out with. I guarantee it.
100%.
Because they have to be upset about stuff. They can't let the well enough alone and let people, you know, be happy and enjoy stuff. But about Captain Marvel, she didn't make much of a change in the movie. All she did was kind of remember some stuff and turn on the Kree.
Yeah.
That didn't really have a character development.
She turned on the Kree because the Skrulls were such empathetic characters too.
They were. You felt for them more than you felt for her.
Yeah.
And so,
I don't know if she felt for them because then she also felt like the Kree betrayed her. Yeah. So it was a very...
And it was just like, well, I'm not what I used to be. I'm not what I was, like, you know, even what I was when I was a Kree. I'm just, you know, now this. And, like, her whole thing that, you know, I still argue with my girlfriend about it, and it drives her nuts. But the reason that I don't like how they've presented Captain Marvel was because she didn't have, like, a humbling experience or something that made her realize, you know, how to grow.
Yeah.
So she comes red hot into the Avengers, the cockiest douche.
Yeah.
She was so douchey, and it just bothered the shit out of me. Like at the beginning, where she's just like, when Bruce goes, "What do you think is going to make this time different?" And she's like, "Because this time you have me, or last time you didn't have me." And it's like, okay, well, who the fuck are you to say that you're the only thing? Especially when at the end, she was the one who got the gauntlet, was headed there, dropped it, and put Thanos in the position to make the stab. And, my girlfriend's like, oh, well, she stopped the snap. I'm like, she put him in the position to snap in the first place. Sure, she stopped it, almost broke his fucking fingers off. But that's the thing that I think will be her humbling moment, was when he popped the stone out and punched her with it.
Yeah.
Because that's the first time she got fucking beat.
Yeah.
By anybody. So
yeah.
that really was the biggest character developmental moment for her. So I'm excited now to see where she's going to go.
Exactly.
But she didn't have that in the movie. And so coming into the Avengers, she was just a douche.
Yeah.
And I fucking hated it.
It's just not very engaging. It's just,
not.
And like if we had like a Scarlet Witch movie and like maybe a Black Widow movie to this point, and then they made Captain Marvel, I don't think anybody would like it as much as they do, because right now it has the shock power of being the first Marvel female film.
And Brie Larson's riding this like she's the only strong female superhero, which, as we saw at the end, all the women coming together.
Yeah.
Which people I was talking to people on Sunday at the graduation party we were at, and they were saying like, oh, it was so pandering and so cheesy and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I read an interview with Marcus and McFeely, the writers of that movie, and they had the same question. It's like, is this too much pandering and stuff? And they just came to the conclusion that's like, no, we think this is just too badass to not do.
Yeah, I
agree.
That's one of the biggest goosebumps moments for me in that movie.
I know. And then you're just like, yeah, all of these are strong, independent women. Like, none of them are a Friday, essentially, because that's where the name Friday comes from, is a movie called My Girl Friday, where it's, a sidekick girl.
Right.
And so with that, it's just like Pepper, even. She was, and now she's got that Iron Man suit, and she's fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Iron Woman. But it was Captain Marvel was put in that position to be like the main, but she didn't earn it, in my opinion.
I want her to be
Scarlet
great.
Witch or Black Widow could have had a movie before her.
Yeah. See, like Scarlet Witch is a great example of a very interesting character who continues to get more interesting, because you look at her, she was experimented on. Then she was a bad guy. Then she lost her brother. Then she fell in love with a robot. Then the robot died, and she almost killed Thanos.
She had to kill the robot.
She almost killed Thanos.
Yeah. People are talking about Captain Marvel being the strongest Avenger. Fucking Scarlet Witch came at Thanos and was about to draw and quarter him.
Yeah.
With the fucking energy, and he had to call those rockets down.
Yeah, Thanos was literally on the verge of death. The only way he could stop her
is if he started raining fire on all of his own troops.
And she was so bad. That was the most I actually through Infinity War and Civil War, they've done actually a very good job with Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
But that was the moment I felt her love for him the most.
Yes.
I was just like, oh shit. Yeah. This is great. This is what I want to see. She's so cool, but it's not like, oh, she's a chick. No, this is just a character coming to fruition that I talked to my sister loves the Marvel movies,
right?
And she relates to every single. It doesn't matter that she's a girl or a guy, and we're diving into just the female side of it a lot, and it branches to everything. It's whether Thor is fat, Joe Russo's gay in it, and all these things, all these people making these big deals out of it. Just normalize it. Isn't that what we're going for? Isn't that all we're trying to do?
Well, and it's like, can't things be fine? That's the thing, is why do you have to create outrage? Why does it have to meet your standards of what you think is the most representation ever? What do you want your specific group or whatever, whether you're LGBTQ or whatever, you want them to be the centerpiece of a movie that's not about any of that shit. Mm-hmm. It's about these characters specifically.
Right.
And most of them aren't gay.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's how they came out in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it's just like, I don't know.
And they've made plenty of gay characters since then, throughout the 90s and 2000s. They've in the comics, they've done a lot more, diversity and normalizing stuff. The movies are moving towards that direction.
Yeah.
Like, now that Iron Man has passed away, I saw on IMDb, which I don't even think is going to happen, but, because in the comics, Iron Man gets old, and then he passes the mantle on to a young African-American woman, Riri Williams, and she becomes Ironheart, and kind of like in Pepper's Iron Lady suit.
Right.
And she's like the new Iron Man. And then Wolverine gives the mantle of Wolverine to X-23. Thor becomes a woman at some point.
It's Jane.
Yeah, Jane gets the hammer and she becomes Lady Thor. And it's like, okay, well, they've made the steps in the comics. Now they're making the steps in the movies, because now we have this whole new slate of characters. Now that Tony's story is over, Cap's story is over, and, now we have Black Captain America.
Yeah.
We have amputee soldier, Winter Soldier. We have an amputee guy. Amputees are represented now.
Yeah.
Raccoons are represented.
Fucking raccoons, man.
Trees are represented.
It just makes it makes it so annoying that I can't just enjoy the funny joke that is Fat Thor, because it's not that it's the fact that he's fat, but not because being fat is a bad thing. It's a turn we never saw coming.
Right. And probably the ballsiest move of the movie.
Oh, sure. That
and chopping Thanos' head off right away.
Yeah, they could have lost. They did lose a lot of people. And it's just like, I want to go to these things. And I do want to see more, LGBTQ, female, black. I want to see as much as possible. And we are. The beauty is we are. Mm-hmm. But for everyone that comes out, we're met with an equal amount of rage. And even if something comes out, somebody says, oh, they didn't do it quite right. They didn't do it quite right.
Nobody can be happy.
Nobody can be happy. It's very frustrating.
It's so frustrating. I was following this page on Instagram. It was Spidey Prime, if you want to go look it up. Spidey.prime. And this guy would just post stuff about Spider-Man, and he would post comics, segments of comics, and those were pretty cool. And then, as Endgame came out and this new Far From Home trailer came out, which we got to talk about that.
Oh
yeah. He just kept posting he's made it clear that he doesn't like Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man, because he thinks that he's too much like Robin to Tony's Batman. And I can get that, but I get behind it more than I disagree with that. But he just felt the need to keep posting how much he didn't like it, and I'm just like, fuck you, dude. Let us enjoy it.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is one thing, for sure. It's like Michael Keaton's Batman. I'm not behind Michael Keaton's Batman as much as I am with Christian Bale. I'm not behind Tobey as much as I am with Tom anymore. And I grew up with Tobey. I didn't grow up with Michael Keaton Batman. So I kind of get that, but I grew up with Tobey. But what they've done with this character has propelled it in the future. But it's just nerds are the most unhappy. I mean, we're guilty of it. We can't stand Batman versus Superman, Justice League, or Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Well, those are just bad stories.
But this was a great story.
Yeah.
But it's the story doesn't matter. I want my people represented. It's it's not about you. It's about these characters. Do you not understand what movies are about?
Yeah, here's why I get so worked up and passionate about this, because it's a distraction, as I said earlier while we were joking around, but I mean it. All the news is sad or boring. It just sucks. Everybody's
to
fighting.
work people up into a frenzy.
Exactly, and it's the one thing that's ever brought humans together is stories. It's something that has passed through every single human being that could speak or communicate with each other, as they told each other stories, and we grew. And the reason everything we have now, what we have, is because of stories. And our version, whether it be books or movies or anything, somebody is going out of their way and taking a lot of time to craft something that a lot of people find a lot of meaning in and make an impact in their lives.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just to distract from that, to make someone, just to take away that level of value. I mean, what else are you going to take from me now?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't be happy, does that mean we all can't be happy at all ever?
Right.
It's just there's a massive amount of mental health issues, and I can't believe I'm taking it here, but there really are. And I think a big part of it is because nobody's meeting each other with compassion.
Oh yeah, nobody's meeting any.
Either they're teaming up or attacking.
Right.
That's
And
the only move people
There's
have.
no compromise. There's no meeting halfway.
Yeah.
It's all fucked. And anxiety and stress and stuff. And I mean, speaking of all that stuff with like, my issues with depression and all that stuff, after we saw Endgame, and every time I've seen Endgame, the 2 times I've seen it since, I have felt genuine happiness that I haven't felt a movie give me in a long time. Infinity War got close, but, this one really, it just tied everything up in such a perfect bow. I mean, Cap getting Mjolnir, dude. We fucking lost our shit, dude.
We went nuts, yeah.
Yeah, we were just like beating the shit out of each other. We were so happy.
Literally. Oh.
Yeah.
The first hit, I was like, ow!
Yeah, I slapped the shit out of your thigh, and I feel bad, but also I was
don't feel
excited,
bad.
dude.
Don't feel bad about
that. Was
that.
so incredible.
Oh, man.
And I mean, Thor getting Mjolnir in the first place and holding them both.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it was a great send-off for Black Widow, Iron Man, and Cap, the 3 who started this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Thor he came out before Captain America in the movies, but I mean, chronologically, they were the 3 who started it. Captain Marvel fucking bailed.
Yeah.
I mean, she created the name Avengers and got Nick Fury to want to do that. But also, her fucking cat is why he lost his goddamn eye. So, fuck her.
Like, here's...
Oh, and that was the other thing about Captain Marvel. Was my girlfriend was talking to, and I'm just like, she was just such a douche, and she goes, well, what about like Tony and like Thor and all those other guys? I'm like, I fucking hated Tony for the longest time.
Yeah,
probably up until even Civil War, dude. I really just didn't like how bullheaded he was and how cocky and douchey he was. But the more I watched it, and the more that I realized that he's the main character of the whole franchise, and how we just need to do a whole Marvel series, just dissect all this stuff, because we need to get out of this. I know we're out of a time crunch, but the fucking thing about it was, it's just like, he pissed me off so much, and Thor kind of pissed me off until he sacrificed himself to the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, they both thought they knew what the fuck was up and how the fuck to handle it. And then they got their asses smacked down, had to recuperate and grow.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel didn't get smacked down until she got punched in the face by Thanos at the end of Endgame.
Yeah. Like, even in her movie, her big revelation, if I'm not mistaken, was just like, her friend reminded her a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
And then she had a couple moments, but they just never felt like... It always felt like it happened to her. She was just like, oh, this is where your story goes, and you get the power, and you're good,
Yeah.
But, and that's beside... And I do like Captain Marvel.
I do. I'm not saying I don't. It's just they,
I just
didn't give her the same kind of get knocked down, get back up again kind of development.
I think it was unfair to her. I really do. I think Captain Marvel is one of the best characters in Marvel.
Yeah.
I really do. And there's a reason she has the namesake. And I just think, like, guys, we weren't focused. We didn't have the right 3 priorities. We at the top, and it leads me also with just the one last thing about the comments on the internet and all that stuff is, people, if you go outside and you talk to people, people are awesome. You stay on your phone and you hang out, and more people are just starting to fall on their phones and are becoming these weird voices on the internet. They'll probably talk shit about this. Just you influence the problem. The internet is this realm of negativity.
Yeah,
it's this realm of fakeness and negativity and a little bit of news.
Twitter is a straight up toxic garbage dump, dude.
Yeah. Just go outside. Talk to people and speak to people and ask about their opinions. You know
what I've kind of noticed with all these phones and all this social media and what anxiety it's wrought upon everybody? It's kind of like making people, I mean, I hate to say it, but like autistic.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how avoidant people are of eye contact now. Like, you go and, like, I mean, I'm guilty of it. I've been really working on it. But anytime I've been, like, in certain places where it's like I'm even talking to a clerk at a gas station or somebody giving me food, and I make eye contact with them, their eyes are just, like, they're taken aback. Like, yeah. Because it's a very intimate thing, and these screens have just completely eliminated the intimacy, man.
It's just like, what are we doing? Like, I know, sorry, go to timeout, put your phone down, go outside. You weren't born to sit on a phone.
No.
All right.
Yeah. trucking along.
Chug along.
Yeah,
Passion
shall we
combo.
go ahead and finish with Game of Thrones? 2 episodes left.
2 more, man, and
We're down another dragon, pal.
down another. Yeah, just out of nowhere. Euron Greyjoy's got to get skinned alive here pretty quick.
Well, you look pretty fucking scared in that trailer for the next
Yeah,
episode.
he did. I hope he gets burned.
Yeah, he's a real cunt, dude.
Just get Drogon to just
That fucked me up.
that's bad.
That fucked me up. Watching it. I mean, it looked cool. It was kind of cool.
It was.
But also, oh no.
I watched it and I was just like, "Oh, this is totally like Dany's having a bad dream. Like this,
Yeah.
she's asleep on the ship. She's gonna wake up. She's gonna, oh no, like this is more dangerous than we thought. Nope.
And I thought the episode was ending when Tyrion hit the water and it cut to black.
I know. Me
I was
too.
like, that's it. And then it kept going, and then it kept going more and more and
Yeah.
more. And I'm like, wow, this episode's really fucking long. I mean, it's an hour and a half, but still.
Yeah.
But it's great storytelling because the odds and stakes have never been higher now.
Yeah. No. A lot of
The whole thing, the leading up to it, was that Dany was just gonna march on in with her 3 dragons and fucking take the throne, no
Right.
problem, easy peasy. No.
And everybody saw that coming, but then everybody's freaking out again, going back to the goddamn internet. And they're like, everybody's getting all upset because they're like, the writers are getting lazy this season.
What?
The fans had so many better theories coming into this.
What?
And I'm like, guys, let them do their jobs. Just
They know they've been making the best, most popular show of all time, literally number 2 on IMDb's top 250 shows of all time.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's
behind Planet Earth 2.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, that's because it's Planet fucking Earth, dude.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a documentary. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
I mean, like a narrative and fictional narrative. This show's the best show of all time.
Yeah.
And they think they're going to fumble the rock when they made us wait 2 years? Fucking no.
I think everybody, and this may be a side effect of the Avengers too. I just think a lot of people are in a slight bit of denial. Endings are hard. Endings
Yeah.
are very hard. But
Yeah.
Avengers went out on top, and it looks like Game of Thrones is going to go out exactly the way it wants to.
Right.
Guys, Walking Dead. Raise your hand if you still like The Walking Dead.
Nobody
All right.
raised their hand, man.
Nobody raised their hand. Like,
Honestly, that's really the thing that me and my girlfriend hit off on right away. That's the icebreaker I had. She's like, binge watching the good episodes of Walking Dead. I'm like, do those even exist? That show really sucks shit now.
yeah.
Like, those writers have gotten lazy.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped watching a while ago, so it's like, oh,
I stopped watching when Nerdy Eli Manning died in the fucking showers for no reason and came back to life.
Yeah.
No, that's lazy writing where it's just like, oh, they're just hanging out in the prison for the first couple episodes. Then all of a sudden they're like, well, I mean, it's a zombie show. Let's just figure out a way to make the zombies happen inside the prison. Oh, fuck you.
right.
Fuck you.
Like, and that's the thing with Game of Thrones, guys. Just trust them.
And Game of Thrones hasn't done that at all. They haven't disappointed once
It-
this whole series.
Everybody's like, oh, the Night King's dead. That whole part of it's over. And it's like, yeah, the show's called Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that was the main story.
And that one,
It's a song of ice and fire. It's about Jon and Dany,
Yeah.
not the Night King.
Right.
That was like an environmental looming thing. It was like a hurricane that was just moving in, but they have this personal conflict with Cersei, and I mean that's not going to change, even though they got to fight this fucking hurricane.
yeah. I mean, it's Jon's arc. The Night King is Jon's arc.
Yeah,
and
they fulfilled it.
And they did, and now like Jon has an even more complex arc going into this, and
Right.
we'll see what he does.
Right.
But fucking the thing with that, everyone's like, oh, this is the first thing you see in the show, and I'm like, that's the first thing in the book. If they were writing the show and they didn't have the books, I don't think they would have led with that.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
think they would have.
I mean, and I listened to the books, and I mean the Whites really don't show up nearly as much as they have in the show. I mean, I've only listened to the first 2. I've started the third.
And it brought Dany and Jon together. It was a big enough because
Yeah.
we had these 2 massive story arcs going for 6 seasons.
And she like, it was big of her for her to just like deviate from her goal.
Yeah.
To be like, all right, we kind of do need to handle this scandal.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, well, and now look at how complex things are with Dany and Jon, and it's just, I mean,
Yeah.
it is the glue. It is. We've glued the thing together. Now we just gotta let it dry and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can you remind me what happened with Jamie? Because I was kind of drunk when I watched this episode. And I haven't watched it again. Because he fucked Brienne.
Yeah, they were like together for most of the episode.
Yeah.
And then they
They
talked
were going
about
to
Cersei,
Dragonstone, and then what? They were talking about Cersei?
how Cersei killed Rhaegar and like half the Unsullied, and then he left and he said, "I've got a bad addiction to Cersei."
Ugh, Jesus.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
I
I
think
missed that part completely because Joey texted me about it yesterday and he was just like, fuck Jamie, they deserve each other. I'm like, oh, I thought Jamie was cool.
I think Jamie will kill Cersei.
Yeah, I think
I talked to my chiropractor about it today.
I think he's going to kill Cersei and, also die at the same time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's
King
poetic.
and Queen Slayer.
It's poetic. Yeah, King and Queen Slayer, and it's poetic because they're twins. They came into the world together. They're going to leave together.
All I'm saying is you want this dude on your chest.
Yeah.
Because he's going to take out the King and the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, no doubt.
Yeah. You want on the chest
the thing, too, was right there at the end with Tyrion going up to reason with Cersei. I totally had this feeling they were just going to, shoot him with a ballista, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I was, totally, I wouldn't put it past them to just fucking whack Tyrion right now.
Yeah, I thought they were going to pelt him with arrows.
And then they decided to whack Missandei, and that really bummed me out.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was a hard one to watch. They're and I'm going to say this and I mean absolutely no disrespect to the characters that have fallen in this season, but they're cutting the fat.
They really are.
They are. They
really are.
Because that's the thing.
Theon, Jorah, Beric, even the other little Mormont girl, and all these people. It's just like, yeah, sure, we've come a long way with them, but also, come on, we got to get the mains.
Yeah, I mean, we've had
Jon, Dany, Tyrion.
Exactly. Cersei and Jamie.
Cersei and Jamie.
That's pretty much Arya now.
Arya.
And the star. See, there's still so many characters left.
There's so many characters left.
And it's just like, guys, this story's got to go somewhere.
Right.
It's got to go somewhere.
Right.
And, I don't know. Fan theories are fun. There have been some really good ones.
Yeah, there have been. The ones that would piss me off, though, are the ones where it's like, Bran is the Night King. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that one.
Where do you get off?
My favorite, my friend told me this. He's like, the theory is that the writers of the show, in regards to Bran, they're saving him for something huge. Like, they're going to do something crazy with Bran. Or this whole time, they've had no idea what to do with him. And they've just kind of been stringing us along. Like, he can do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, he can see stuff.
But...
where did he go when he went warg during the Battle of Winterfell?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, that might be elaborated on later.
Yeah, it's...
How do you feel about Tormund Giantsbane leaving to the north with Ghost?
You know what? It was the most beautiful cutting of fat I've ever seen.
Yeah, because they didn't fucking kill him.
They didn't kill him. He was all good, and Tormund Giantsbane.
He's not going to start fucking dealing with South people.
Exactly. He has no interest in that.
He needs to go rebuild the wildling, population after Hardhome.
Most of the North really doesn't have much of a role to play anymore.
Right.
I wonder if Sam will be in it again.
Where'd he go?
He just stayed at Winterfell. I'm sure he'll be in part of Sansa's story or something.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with. You're right. The North is kind of irrelevant at this point now because, if Dany takes the throne or if Jon takes the throne, they're kind of on their own.
What do you think about Arya and the Hound back together?
I like it.
Me too.
I like it a lot. They're
it.
buddies.
They're the best. I love those two.
They're the best, worst of friends.
Oh, it's like the best part from season 3 to 4. Just having the Hound fucking chilling.
And just, I love him. She left him for dead. He survived, and then, they meet again in Winterfell. He's just like, "You're a cold bitch, aren't you?" And he's just like, "I dig this chick.
Nah, she's cool. I like her.
She's hard.
Look at her. Look
She's
at her
hard.
face." No, fun times, man. We got another battle coming up.
Yeah.
This is going to be.
Think about Gendry getting to be the king of
the Lord,
or the Lord of whatever it was called.
I liked his reaction. He was just, there's what. Okay,
I'm a bastard, and she's like,
Sure.
"No, you're a Baratheon now."
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you back.
And you get to have I can't fucking remember what that place was called, but Storm's End. That's what it was. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But then Arya cold cock blocked him.
I mean,
but also
it would have been
that was the whole thing of her from the beginning. Was she said right off the gate, "I'm not a lady."
Not a lady.
I'm not a lady. I don't want to be a lady.
Yeah, I wonder how much more Arya will have to do. Because either Arya is going to become the main character of this show because she'll kill the Night King and Cersei, or
I mean,
she'll
that's the
kinda
whole thing
fizzle.
that was brought up to me by a guy at work was like, why doesn't she just put on a face and just sneak in and kill Cersei? I'm like, because that's not good storytelling.
Yeah, it's
I
lame.
mean, she like that. You totally could do that.
She's done it several times.
Totally could do that, and like, you know, it's the same kind of idiot like that who's like, why didn't Thor just go to the head? I'm like, because you don't understand Thor.
Yeah.
He's arrogant, even though he's grown. He still needed to talk that shit,
Right,
dude.
right.
He still needed to talk that shit.
And it's like Arya's gonna want to. I think a big part of it too is Arya's gonna want Cersei to know it was her.
Well,
know?
and Arya hasn't crossed very many people off her list.
No.
She didn't get to.
A lot of them died. Yeah. She might kill Cersei.
So I mean, she killed the Night King. So I mean, that's why I think she's kind of out of the running.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Jaime.
Yeah, I think it'll be Jaime too.
Maybe that would be good, because then that means that, you know, Arya could look back at the list and just be like, well, I didn't get to kill very many of these people. She killed that knight in Dorne when she was over there.
Stabbed his eyes out.
Yeah, stabbed his fucking eyes out. That was pretty brutal. But like, maybe that'll help her look and just be like, well, I didn't need to.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, and grow.
Yeah.
And maybe she'll grow and actually go back to Storm's End to be with Gendry.
What about Bronn?
Bronn.
Bron's not fucking around.
Bronn isn't fucking around. I don't quite remember that whole conversation. Can you this will be the last thing, but can you just walk me through it a little bit?
Yeah,
Because I know he came in and he was just like talking mad shit with the crossbow.
Yeah, he came in
and he's just like, Cersei hired me to kill you.
He's like, he's like striking this deal pretty much at the end of the day. What they come to an agreement with, because
Tyrion said that
he'll pay him double, and so he's going to give him Highgarden,
right?
If they win, yeah.
right, okay.
And I feel like Tyrion may not be able to give that to him, and then he's going to die.
That's going to be unfortunate.
That would be a really shitty way for that to happen. I hope they don't do that.
I hope they don't do that.
But every like the way this show's patterns work, everything tells me.
Well, I think that's what makes the show so great, is that it breaks its own patterns,
right?
And, you know, sticks to it at the same time. So I mean, like,
I hope I'm still
don't
wrong.
Expect or hope for the best when they've really shown us the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at all turns.
Yeah, I know.
At all terms, they didn't have to kill Missandei.
No,
they did.
They did, yeah.
But also, this puts Dany in a very interesting position where all of her support is gone except for Tyrion.
Yeah, literally.
And she really had been shitting on him and pushing him away.
This is going to be Dany versus Cersei from here on.
Uh-huh.
And
honestly, though,
well, okay, that's what I think this next one's going to be. And then what I think episode 6 is going to be Dany and Jon. That's going to be the Fire and Ice. That's going to be the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's going to pretty much just be Dany versus Cersei.
I think
Dany
Cersei's done
win.
after this episode.
I bet
hope
you
so.
Cersei dies.
Because, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, Dany's really been pissing me off this season. She's really been pissing me off. And it's just like, you know, very unlikable and bratty about stuff. And Cersei, you know, hasn't been in it very much.
No.
So I didn't pay any mind to it.
She's been in like 6 seasons.
Then she had the mountain kill Missandei. I'm like, nope, she's still first ballot Hall of Fame cunt. So, you know, that's not going to change.
No.
But anyway, we got to wrap this up. But I think we finally, after 4 attempts, nailed this fucking episode.
It says it's still recording. We're doing okay.
It says we're recording. We're not going to have done a dry run like last week. And I think we're off to a good start. We actually tightened it up and made it better. So.
We did. I had fun. This felt like it was weird. It's a you know a conversation's going really well if it doesn't feel like the time frame that you've had it within. You know what I mean?
It felt like longer than this hour and 10.
Exactly. Like this one felt long, but it felt like we talked about so much.
Right.
Yeah.
And we, you know, didn't deviate too much. So I think we're doing good. I think this is a good start to DMT with Sammy B and Jacky D.
Yeah.
And you want to plug anything? Social media?
No social media right now. Taking a little break from it. Hanging out.
Good for you. I need to get out of that grass, but
practice what I preach.
If you guys want to find me, I'm at It's Butler Time on Instagram and Twitter. You know, Sam Butler everywhere else.
Follow him. He's super fucking funny.
I'm excited to see how people react to this and how this show grows. So
me too.
Stay tuned. Don't miss this podcast. We'll talk to everybody next week.
Have a good one. Doses.